Vice President Kamala Harris was on. She was doing her world tour over the weekend. She spoke to the National Action Network. That's NAN.
I used to have a NAN.
That's Rev. That's the Rev Al Sharpton's. Can I just say in quotations group?
Right.
Because I'm not really sure what they do or where they get their money from, but that's just my alleged. That's just me alleging. I don't know for a fact.
Right.
But she says that she's been traveling all around the world.
Okay, so Kamala does the globe.
Yes.
You got it.
And she often meets and talks to women. Do you guys know that?
Yeah, well,
And I want to make
What?
you can only meet women or men and talk to
True.
two genders.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
And
half
I
the
want to
job.
make another point. You know, in traveling around the world, I often, in fact, almost every time when I go to a new country, I'll meet with women to talk with them about how they're doing.
Right.
Wow.
Yep.
What an important job the vice president
Yes.
has.
I gotta have conversations and talk about the issues of the day with
How you doing?
half the population.
Oh, my God. You know, Nick, Dawn, in my day-to-day life, I see women.
Yeah, you see Dawn for 6 hours a day.
I talk to you sometimes,
Right.
Dawn, just to see how you're doing.
I mean, when Greg starts doing more radio career sessions at local elementary schools, he's going to be like, "Look, guys, you know, I talk to girls at work. It's what I do. It's part of the job."
Boy, can she sound any more stupid?
Well, I mean, think about this: second in command.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, God forbid Joe Biden doesn't wake up tomorrow morning. She's running the show, folks. Well, in theory.
I said that she spoke at the National Action Network over the weekend. She said to notorious anti-Semite Al Sharpton. No, I mean it's true. I mean he's been on tape saying all kinds of bad things. He said,
Well, he's allowed to.
the F word against gay people.
Right. Different rules for different fools.
Exactly. But all of a sudden, people love him for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a race hustler. But,
Now, well, he as a race hustler, as a side hustle, does he have to pay taxes if it's over $600, like on a Venmo or PayPal? Just wondering.
Look, I mean, you can say that a lot of these guys, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, a lot of these guys who have been in the public spotlight for a long time, where do they get a lot of their income from? I don't know. You know,
It's like Hunter Biden.
he's a preacher.
Does he get taxed?
He's a preacher. He has a 1 hour show on the weekends on MSNBC. That can't pay him a ton. But,
Oh, wait a minute. That's 1 hour compared to Matt Rooney's 3 hours last night.
oh boy.
Which we'll get to later in the show.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we've got tape, apparently, Dawn.
Radio
Nice.
Wars?
Yeah.
Wait.
Now,
Rooney going after...
Radio Wars is a trademarked phrase by one website. You can't use that, sir.
Okay.
Audio wars.
Yes. 12,
Thank
10,
you.
12,
Thank
10
you. We are...
battles.
All right. Kamala Harris
Yeah, the V.
speaking very highly of Al Sharpton.
Rev,
Rev,
I love you.
can we stop with
Yeah.
the accents when you're speaking to a certain community?
Oh,
like
AOC just did that with a Southern draw.
It
She
is-
was speaking to somebody in the South and went all Southern on us.
it's so patronizing.
I know.
If I was a member of that community, I'd be like, "What are you doing? Like, we know you don't speak like this. Just stop."
Can we just hear that beginning
Yep.
again?
Rev, I love you.
You know, she reminds me of there. That sounds like Denzel Washington in Remember the Titans when he's talking about Rev. Rev was his quarterback. He ran the veer. Like Novocaine. Give it time, it always works. I run 6 plays, Yost.
Rev, I love you. And I thank you on behalf of all of us, everyone, for all that you do and all that you are. And as I have said in public and in private many times, Rev, no matter where you are always a voice of truth.
Oh yeah.
Speaking about the importance of justice for all people.
Okay.
You are part of the conscience of our country, and I thank you for all that you do.
Boy, I'd hate to see her have a conversation if he was still alive today with Johnny Cochran.
Oh my God.
Johnny, I love you. Mr. Cochran, you're the voice of truth. A beacon in days of darkness.
It's funny. We always talk about defund the police and how this administration says they don't want to defund the police.
Uh-huh.
The verbiage is actually comprehensive police reform.
Oh.
I guess that's a way of saying it more politely.
So CPR.
And so then, in the name of public safety, can't we all agree?
What is this? What is she doing here?
Is she channeling Martin Luther King? What's going on here?
In the name of public safety? Can't we all agree that when there is biased policing and excessive force, that it must be met with accountability?
The party of no accountability wants accountability for this, though.
Can't we all agree that there is much we must do to increase public safety, and that includes the need for Congress to pass comprehensive police reform legislation?
CPR.
The kind of common sense reform that, by the way, many police officers themselves, including the Major Cities Chiefs Association, have called for. So,
let me get back to my notes.
Congress.
Nice pause.
We're talking about state house legislatures.
Mm-hmm.
There's a theme here.
Oh, there's a theme.
They're all elected by the people. By the people.
Wow. Do we know where exactly where was this speech given at? Do you have it?
It was the National Action Network. It's NAN. It's Al Sharpton's group.
But like a certain city, state?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm just wondering who she's placating to.
It sounds like somewhere in the South. I could be wrong, but I don't know.
I'm here in Biloxi, Mississippi.
I can't stand the politician who takes the affect or the accent of whatever group or whatever area they're speaking.
Think about this. AOC picks up the Southern drawl.
Yes.
Kamala's picking up the change here.
Mm-hmm.
Joe says he's of every ethnicity wherever. They're the most multi-talented party I've ever seen. They're everything you ever want to be.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
Speaking of Joe Biden.
Oh, boy.
So I know he's done this a lot, and Dawn, maybe you can shed some light on this.
Daniel says it was in New York City, by the way.
Okay. I know he's done this a lot, but where did Joe Biden again claims that he was a professor at the University of Pennsylvania? Where did this come from? Let me play it, and then maybe you can answer this question.
The strong bond brought me back in 2017 when I was a professor at the University of Pennsylvania.
What?
He never actually taught a class.
No, he didn't.
He got over $100,000 to do so.
Was he actually like? He wasn't a professor, was he?
I forget what
he was. He served as Benjamin Franklin Presidential Professor at the University of Pennsylvania between his tenure as vice president and the start of his presidential campaign.
But he never actually taught a class, though, right?
I want to say there's a phrase for it. Is it Professor Emeritus?
Professor of Practice.
Or Professor of Practice. Okay.
What does that mean?
Is this just an honorary title?
That's what I'm thinking.
Did he do one presentation for 60 minutes one day and then put it on a slideshow and recycle it for, I mean, he never really was a professor.
Do they
Jill has more of a right to call herself a doctor. And she's not a doctor. She just has a doctorate's degree, I think, in education.
Says his duties might not conform to the full range of activities that the public might associate with the term professor.
Right.
I'm looking this up.
I'm a talk show host, but I did a 30-minute show back in 2015.
Yeah, then you're not a talk show. He's thrown this around a lot, and I just wanted to get to the bottom of what he actually did. And is it one of these things where his handlers just kind of said to him, "Oh yeah, you're a professor. I was a professor."
Mm-hmm.
Puts a hat on.
This guy's the biggest has-been of all time.
Penn says that the practice of the practice professor is confined to a very small number of untenured full-time professorships. So I guess that means full-time pay, which is pretty good bucks.
Oh, it was definitely six
right?
figure. Yeah, he made well over six figures in that role.
But
wow.
It's only for distinguished, highly experienced individuals who have achieved success in their fields and whose skills and knowledge are essential to the educational process. So basically, it's a title and a salary, and
nice.
You would be like an influencer.
Right.
You're basically like an influencer.
Joe's a campus influencer.
How do you get these jobs where you don't have to show up for anything? They give you the title and you collect a giant salary.
I don't know. Ask John Fetterman. He's been doing it for years.
Biden received more than $900,000 from the university.
Wow.
Between 2017 and 2019. $900 grand.
That's either $300,000 or $400,000 a year. If it's three full years or 2 years.
Look, if you have the influence and the power to do something like that,
oh yeah,
God bless you.
Yeah.
But to go around and tout that as an accomplishment when you know you never actually taught a class shows some chutzpah, doesn't it?
Chutzpah.
I mean,
I haven't heard that in a long time.
I mean, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it's a good life if you can get it, because let's be real. The amount of people that put in like 50-hour work weeks for chump change compared to some of these guys like Joe Biden that just get handed hundreds of thousands of dollars to wipe their nose, just remarkable.
Apparently he did some Q&As.
So have I.
He did.
I mean, like I've probably done as much as Joe Biden has. I've spoken at Drexel, at Northampton Community College, Nick. But, you know,
did you get $100,000 for that?
No,
okay.
I got nothing.
They didn't even comp me my parking. Those jerks.
Unbelievable.
I had to pay for my lunch.
He did at least 3 Q&A sessions on major topics.
Oh my God. And he collected $900,000 for what, 3 years or 2 years of doing that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's between 2017. So it is 2017, 2018, 2019. Yeah, so is it, I guess, the 3 years.
Folks, this is how you get a beach house in Delaware.
You know, it's funny. You hear all the time about how people are critical of Trump and the Trump administration for making money off of their work during that 4 years and profiting off of it. And boy, does Joe Biden not. He's like the poster child for this.
Hunter, Joe, Dr. Jill, I should say Professor Joe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the prof.
Well, she does have a PhD.
Yeah, she does. She's earned it. She's earned more than Joe, I think.